Now, a guy that I'm not sure whether he takes a huge step for Carolina this year, but he really needs to, is Trevyon Green. That's the other returner for Carolina along the offensive line, and then that's it. They do have, one other backup in Janai Norwood that does stick around, but Trevyon Green is really the other starter that sticks around. So Carolina's expected to roll 3 of their starters out from last year. Now, Trevyon Green's a guy that started at right tackle a year ago, thought he was going to probably start there again this year, but he's been moved over to left tackle, according to some of the reports from practice back, just a couple of days ago, that he was out there with the first team unit and he was on the left side. Now, I don't know if that's going to stick. We'll have to wait and see. But if he is, maybe that's an area where he succeeds a little bit more, because last year going to his right in pass blocking, he had 443 pass block reps, and he allowed, as I mentioned earlier, 10 sacks and 40 total quarterback pressures. Now, 40 total pressures does count the sacks. So 30 quarterback pressures outside of that, that's still a lot. His pass block grade was a 49.3. That's an area that he's got to be much better. The thing is, though, is that, and one of the reasons why you're not going to take him off the field is because as a run blocker, he was one of Carolina's best, if not the best, along the offensive line with a 70.8 for the season. So I think it's really simple for him. He's a good run blocker. He plays with the physicality that you need to. He's got the size. Everything is there for him. He just has to improve in pass protection. And that's the thing. If he improves in pass protection, then he can continue to play for Carolina and should be out there. If he doesn't, then I think Carolina's got to go in a new direction, because they got to find somebody that can keep their quarterback upright and not allow 40 total quarterback pressures throughout the year.
Yeah, 2 things. I think Belichick and the staff banking on him playing on the left side but not having to be the blind side protector will benefit him. Secondly, expect to see a lot of Jake Johnson, someone over on that side when Carolina's in 2 tight end sets and they're looking to throw the football to give him help. I think that's going to be one of the bigger adjustments that you see from Bill Belichick coach teams than what you saw under Mac Brown. Because, I mean, that was something that was very easy for fans to identify, was that he was a liability in pass protection. But it felt like they never really adjusted to the personnel and helped him out and left him too many times on an island. And for whatever reason, whether it was, just a lack of a quick first step, whatever it was, he got beat more often than not. When you mentioned the 40 total, I mean, that's averaging what, 2.5 per game, which, it seems, that's a pretty big number. You really need to get that number cut down in half. And so I think that's going to be their plan early on, is they know that if they want to run the ball, they can run it to the left side of the line and it's going to be fine, because he can get out and maul people. He's going to create running lanes. But it's going to be what happens in the passing game. Can he hold up enough, even whether he's by himself or if they have a tight end back there to help kind of chip block as well. And so I'll be interested to see how short the leash is with him, because, there's good in him, there's bad, but you see kind of more of the bad than you do the good, especially it felt like at crunch time. So, I think he's the guy that I don't want to say the whole entire offensive line depends on him, but like if this is a guy that takes a massive step forward in pass protection, then Carolina's offensive line can be the unit that it needs to be. If it struggles and they got to find an answer, then maybe this offensive line doesn't reach its fullest potential as a unit.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a chance that he is the guy that really is the key to this entire offensive line. I mean, they've got other guys there that they could possibly go to, a guy like William Boone. Maybe Will Osteen is the guy that emerges there at left tackle. But at the same time, you really need Trevyon Green to take that step, because as a run blocker, he is what you need him to be. But you can't be allowing, and this is unbelievable, played 13 games last year. He averaged 3.1 pressures allowed per game. That just simply can't happen. It's got to be better. And look, it wasn't that every game he was just downright terrible. There were some games where he allowed a lot more pressure than he did in other games. But for the most part, towards the end of the season, as you mentioned, it became consistent. And that's really where Carolina has worn down as a pass protection unit, is when they've gotten late into the season. We saw it we saw it with Drake May, each of his 2 years at Carolina. With him as just a starting quarterback, every time that you thought, okay, Carolina's got momentum, one of the biggest issues was that they simply weren't able to protect the quarterback, especially when you go to the games against NC State. Those years with Drake May, Carolina did not have any chance of protecting their quarterback. And even last year, it was very similar. So hopefully you get better pass protection this year from a guy that is the road grader. I mean, that's the thing, is that he really shines in run blocking situations. You just need him to get a little bit better in pass protection. It's understandable that you're going to allow pressures as a tackle. We've seen that. We know that's part of it, but you got to get it cut down, and you can't allow 10 sacks this year. There can't be that much pressure on Gio Lopez, especially with you playing front side. You got to be much better at that. They'll realize that the pressure is there, but you got to be much better than that. The other reason why I think he's got to be better is because you just don't know what's on the other side at the right tackle spot.